not only do we speak differently, we think differently, right? There are a number of studies that point to that. Robert Annis has done amazing work in this area specifically, just in looking at how we think. And men are more linear thinkers. Women, we'll ask everyone in the room. We'll make a decision and it'll be our own, but we'll seek out others. It's more of a participatory versus more of an insular. So there's so many different ways that we think, and chemical makeups of the brain is actually fascinating. You would think I was a scientist sitting here, but I'm fascinated by this. But it actually shows and a lot of times as women, when we have experiences like that with men, we take that characteristic and assign that to him, that behavior, and assign it to his character. Right? So I can't believe he just said that he's a jerk, right? And then you'll speak to the man or your boss who was emphatically apologizing to you all day because that wasn't his intention, and oh gosh, I really didn't mean to do that and I don't understand. And that's where having conversations like this and having gender intelligence or gender bias or however, what terminology we put around it is so incredibly critical, because it gets to that place of understanding. So that when we have these experiences, we can talk to each other about it, we can call it out in a non-confrontational way, but in a way that's really productive towards getting to a solution and to an understanding.
How much do you feel is on us? Do we need to change those behaviors, or do you feel, this is how women communicate and that's okay?
I don't think it's about changing. And that's the part where it's about understanding, appreciating, and valuing the contribution, and understanding where the behavior is coming, and not assigning, again, the same way that we may assign the behavior to the character and he's a jerk, is assigning, oh, okay, she's saying it as a question, so she's unsure of herself. No, that's not it at all. She's simply asking your opinion. She will make her own decision. So I don't think it's about changing. I really think it's about broadening our collective understanding.
Although I do feel like women turn themselves into verbal pretzels when trying to advocate for opinions. There was a really hysterical, I think humor is the best way to kind of understand some of these issues. There was a great piece where people rewrote famous works of history the way a woman would say it. So it's like Martin Luther King's I Had a Dream. Well, so I have this idea, and you definitely contributed to it, and maybe it'll work, but what if we... And it's funny, but it is the way women communicate, because we know when we are direct. I mean, there was just a study out that analyzed women's performance reviews, and twice as many women were aggressive. And that's what happens when women do advocate for themselves. It's given a pejorative label, as you said.
But maybe there's a happy medium, because when women started coming in the workforce en masse, you saw them dressing like men. Right? And now there's finally the acceptance, I can wear a fabulous jumpsuit, and that's okay and still be taken seriously. It is fabulous, isn't it? and it's all okay. So maybe there will be more acceptance of, yes, maybe we communicate a little differently. I do agree. I think we can be a little more assertive with our opinions. We can be a little more forceful, but we're not going to be men. We're not going to dress like them. We're not going to sound like them, and that's okay.